South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has confirmed that the BRICS Summit to be held in the country next month will take place in person. There have been suggestions that the event could happen virtually, but Ramaphosa says this will not be the case. CGTN's Yolisa Njamela has more.
The South African government has, over the past few months, come under pressure to take a decision over its hosting of the BRICS Summit. This is because there were murmurs that the summit could be moved to another country in one of the BRICS member countries or be held virtually. But governing ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa says that won't be the case. Ramaphosa was speaking at the BRICS Business Council meeting in Sandton.
There was a rumor going around that this too could become an online summit. No, it's going to be face to face, eyeball to eyeball, and it's going to happen here.
The ANC president also spoke about the role South Africa plays within BRICS despite its small economy compared to the other four countries.
And many people often say we punch way above our welterweight or lightweight or whatever, or our weight. And indeed we do. But it also goes to show the important role that South Africa plays on the global stage as well. Much as we are a small country by population compared to the other big, gigantic BRICS member countries, we are seen as playing a very key strategic role, small and tiny as we are.
As part of South Africa's strategic intent to further advance the African developmental agenda within BRICS, Ramaphosa says the South African government has invited several African heads of state to come to the summit next month.
So the BRICS moment for us is not only going to be limited to the 5 countries, it's going to be much broader than that, as we put into practice what we call the BRICS outreach, Africa outreach, where we invite Africa to come as well.
At least 22 heads of state already confirmed their attendance at the summit, scheduled to take place in Johannesburg next month. Yolisa Njamela of Johannesburg, South Africa.
Moments ago, Chinese President Xi Jinping met with former Philippine President Rodrigo Roa Duterte at the Jiaoyutai State Guest House in Beijing. Our partner Zhang Chunying from CGTN will give us a live update from Beijing, China. Chunying, good evening.
Good evening. It's my great pleasure. Well, as you just mentioned, President Xi Jinping met with former Philippine President Duterte at the Jiaoyutai State Guest House in Beijing today. And during their meeting, Chinese president spoke highly of Mr. Duterte's contribution to improving China-Philippine ties and bringing the bilateral relations back on its track, which, as President Xi put it, is in line with the interests of people in the Philippines. And President Xi also pointed out that China pursues the concept of neighborhood diplomacy based on amity, sincerity, mutual benefit, and inclusiveness, and has always insisted on building friendship and partnership with its neighbors, and that China has always attached importance to China-Philippines relations. And President Xi also expressed his willingness to work with the Philippines to promote the steady and long-term development of the bilateral ties. And for his side, Duterte also expressed his gratitude to China for the country's valuable support for the economic and social development of the Philippines, especially for China's help and support during the pandemic. He added that the booming ties between the two countries were in line with the wish of the majority of Philippines people, and as well, and the interest of the two peoples as well. He also expressed his willingness to continue to play a constructive role when it comes to promoting the friendship between the two countries. That's all from me. Back to you.
Yes, Chuning, if we may ask, what are the implications of this meeting between former President Duterte and Chinese President Xi Jinping on Philippine-China relations?
Well, yeah, as I just mentioned, Mr. Duterte has played a very significant role when it comes to improving the bilateral ties. So the meeting, I think, first of all, it serves as a platform for Chinese president to reiterate China's willingness for both sides to reiterate their willingness to further promote the bilateral relations and to seek more common grounds and seek more opportunities for win-win cooperation. And that is very crucial, I think, for the further improvement of the bilateral relations, both socially and economically. And so hopefully after the meeting, we're going to see more people-to-people exchanges, more economic cooperation, and also more, more strengthened ties when it comes to social development as well. Yeah, that's all from me. Back to you.
Thank you, Chunying, for that live update from Beijing, China.